Greetings, family. This is Hotep Talamun. I want to set the record straight. First of all, this is Grand Rising. I should have started out with that. Grand Rising, El Phoenix Rising 2019 is the handle or the name of this channel. Grand Rising, we're talking about the Grand Rising of Ra, the sun. That's what we're talking about. Grand Rising. We're saying Grand Rising of the sun that exists within all. So this is communication is for all. And also El Phoenix Rising 2019. El in the ancient Semitic tongue means the. Phoenix is symbolic of the phoenix bird, which emerges out of his own ashes. Meaning it died and it resurrected. It's about the resurrection of the Israelites, the Nubian Hebrew Israelites, Israelites worldwide. And if you want to go into the greater mysteries, we're talking about Israel, Israelites. Is Isis, like in Genesis, genes of Isis. Ra, the sun, or from Amun Ra, or Ray, the rays of the sun. And what did I say? Israel, and El, the source, or which begins all of the angelic or ends all the angelic beings. Titles or names like Mikael, Jibrail, Gibrail, Raphael. One of my attributes is Naya Lukman El. So with that being said, this is that channel. This is the real deal channel. You're not gonna get no plainer truth than from one of El's children. I'm not talking about the fake ones, the ones that are, got a little bit of information. Oh, we doing a broadcast, brother. This right here is my man. They call him Carter. That's Carter. And this is my man Samaj. These are children of El. Not my children, but children of El, the Most High. Children of the Most High. They are grandchildren of my associate and business partner and one of my best friends and family member, Hawa, meaning mother of all living. So with that being said, some of y'all have already seen the videos on this channel. And we came out with Prince Hakeem, who was running for president for 2020. Called himself Prince Hakeem. His real name was Jawad Hakeem, from Chicago. He put me on his, I met him, or he discovered me through my websites at glolaud.org, GLOLAUD.org, and OmniU. OMNIU.com, and that O is spelled with a .com. And he studied me, and he studied the teachings and of what I'm pointing to, and he used that to weasel his way in. He was insincere. It turned out that he was all about the money. He got about $500 from us. We flew him in. He said he was, put that down. Put it down in the grass. Put it down in the grass.
I don't want to.
This dude right here is very stubborn, to say the least. But this is called parenting. If you pick that up, I'm gonna pop you. You got me?
No.
Leave it there.
Because I tried to put it there.
So anyway, the brother,
up here forever.
he studied. That's what he do. He's even shared. He stayed with me for about a week. and he said that he was running for president 2020. He had a record, but he was very intelligent, extremely intelligent. He was running. My first question was, "What's your platform?" He said, UBI, Universal Basic Income. I said, "What's that?" And he broke it down, a universal basic income. That he wanted that, and a couple candidates is running on that platform, or at least one other, a Chinaman running on that platform. And so I forgot his name, but anyway, it was a good platform. Leave it there. Don't pick it up. And so I liked the platform, and I questioned him. I drilled him, and he had all the right answers. One of the most intelligent beings I've ever met. So I'm gonna give him a shot. Plus, he was studying law, UCC, commerce law, admiralty law, which is another. For some of you who do know it, those who don't, is real law. It's the law that's of the sea, and a lot of people don't know the difference between admiralty law and the law of the land and the law of the sea. They don't know the difference, and a lot of people are going in these courtrooms thinking that they're going for their constitutional rights, and they're dealing with commerce, which is admiralty law, a law that was set up for when vessels travel, and they had a certain law that they had to adhere to, and that's where your Social Security number came from, because you're basically a product. Your straw man, it's a product, has a registered number, and where they store the product, and they give you a registry number, and then they put some value to it. So this is how the game is played. So he had that knowledge too, and he had knowledge of my background with my teacher, who raised me for the most part, and who is the core or the axis of the order that I represent, which is the ancient and mystic order of Melchizedek, also known as Tuhuti, Father Time, Ancient of Days, Murdoch. I mean, this being and his presence is felt throughout time. So anyway, he came in. We wanted some legal. The legal thing really piqued our interest even more so than the presidential run. But the legal thing, because we have a couple guys that has been, several people we know is being incarcerated unjustly. And so we flew him in to get some legal advice. And when he got here, we found out more about him and his presidential bid. And he kind of appointed me as the chairman of his staff, director of staff, and then appointed Howard as secretary of treasury, that type of thing. But all of it was built around a con to extract money. He wasn't sincere about his run, the race, which to me, I don't really deal in politics unless you're talking the ultimate truth. And because he was coming with the ultimate truth, like admiralty law and straw man and the banking cartel and that type of thing, I'll support anything, because I know even if we didn't win, we could make some noise and we can get a lot of information out. I know because I ran politics before in Sicklerville in New Jersey, and ultimately came out of there to study more about theology, history, and comparative religious studies, Semitic languages, metaphysics, and things of that nature. Leave him alone. I know, but you see how he's acting. So let's not even let him do his thing, because soon he's gonna want you to play with him, and don't play with him. You want to be selfish right now, let him be selfish. So anyway, that's where we was at. So to make a longer story shorter, he wanted to do things his way, and we're not about that. We're about let us create man in our image and after our. This is a we thing over here. I'm not following nobody. I'm not a follower. I'm a leader. So you can't come at me other than in a request, format. where we put all our information on the table and we dissect it, and then we utilize sound right reasoning and facts to make a decision. So, he wanted to dictate, and that's when it really was exposed. Plus, he had a marijuana problem. He was addicted to it. It was an addiction. I tried to overlook it, but it ultimately proved my suspicion that any attachment, any any substance abuse, any addiction will ultimately is a weakness of the mind. It's a weakness of the mind. Therefore, you can be infiltrated like Mr. Smith on The Matrix. And so that's what happened. It was exposed. I saw the signs, and eventually, and my other half saw the signs, and it was easy. So we sent him back on the plane. He left. He never got back with us, and eventually disappeared. Next thing I know, he was in jail, and I don't know where he is right now. So I just want to set that record straight. I don't mind being tricked. $500, not a lot of money to find out, who's the devil. I spent more money than that on this journey of life to discover who's who in this journey that we're on. So I ain't mad at them. I ain't hating on them. So what? You got 500. I hope it helped you, and you just can't come back. And if you do come back, you better come back with some sound right reasoning. I mean, you better come back humble and damn near, I'm not gonna say begging, but you better come back in the light of the Most High, because I'll peep it immediately. Is even quicker now. It won't take me a week. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, that's that. Now, the message of today, as far as attachments. No, let's not talk about attachments today. Let's talk about they call it affection. Affection. That's what I want to talk about. No. Go play with him nice. You should have played with him nice, and then you would have had the ball to play with. But you didn't want to play with him. You wanted to be selfish. Now he got the ball. Now he want to be selfish. Now you got to feel the effects of that. You about to take a nap, because that's what you need. That's clear. And as soon as I finish this, we're going to go take a nap. So this is called parenting. And then we got some stubborn children, and that's the devil. That's all a part of it too. You know what I'm saying? So, it's good. So anyway, come here, give me a hug. Give me a hug. We love you. We love you. Come on up here. Take a nap. Hold on.
No, I don't want to take a nap.
Oh, okay. All right. So this is where we at. And so back to it, affection. This is where the affection needs to be, towards the children. If you starving for affection, and you out seeking affection, and you confusing affection with love, that's a problem. Because, of course, as human beings, you go through stages of growth. You're born, you need nurturing. When you come into the world, you can't take care of yourself. Your pure consciousness when you come in, because you have no information, so you're at your purest state, but you're also at one of your most helpless states as far as being in this physical realm, because you can't protect yourself. So that's what parents are for, to protect you, to guide you, and to love you. So the affection is towards the children. That's where the affection should be. But what has happened is that adults have not put their attention on the children, and most adults are starving for affection, so much so that they neglect the needs of the children. And everybody wants to be held and cuddled and touched and loved. You could be 100 years old and you still starving for affection. So much, even if you're, as you get older, can you please take that ball over there? As you get older, you're supposed to, the old age is a blessing that helps you burn out your desires, burn out your needs and your wants, so you can go back to that infancy stage of just simply being content with just existence. because that's the evolutionary scale. And then ultimately somebody has to take care of you again as you get older, for many. So you back at that baby stage. But the affection that people require nowadays is extreme. It's turned into selfish attention. You want it so much. You want the attention so much. You want so much affection that when you don't get it, you suffer. And when you suffer, you make everything and everybody around you suffer. And then you become selfish. And that is an attribute of Shaitan, the devil. So we have to get control of ourselves. You have to discover the true self, the highest form of self, in order to discipline the lower levels of self, which is your human and reptilian nature. So this is what the Phoenix Rising is all about: dying and resurrecting. You must die in order to resurrect as a supreme being, meaning your physical your physical self. You must rise above it so that you can discipline it, and it will be symbolically of a death, because you will no longer identify the self as this person. You will identify the self as the breath of life and light. You won't be attached to the term Israelites, Nubian, black, Muslim, Christian, none of that, because you know that's secondary terms. Those are concepts and stages of growth. When you get to your highest level of consciousness, you become consciousness itself, which is existence, and you become the observer of the lower realms of existence. In Nuwapic, we say Lahut, Malakut, and Nasut. Nasut is the physical realm, Malakut is the angelic realm, and Lahut is oneness with the Most High. Nasut and Malakut deals with two or more. The physical realm is dealing with multiple forms. The Malakut, which is the angelic realm, Malik, angel, is dealing with multiple spirit forms. But Lahut is dealing with the one that's playing as the many. So with that being said, give thanks, give praise to the Most High, and we'll see you on our next delivery or expression of the word that has been made flesh and dwell among you. St. John, chapter 1. Peace.